Okay, factoring review 3C. Now this one here is starting to get a little bit more complicated. Notice what we've got here. It's m minus 7 squared plus 3 times m minus 7, and then it's plus this constant, minus this constant 40 at the back end here. But this has got the form of a trinomial here, because this is, the brackets make this one term, the multiplication by that bracket make that a second term here. So this really does look like a trinomial. It's this m minus 7 that I'm seeing that's throwing me off here. So maybe what I do here is I'm going to rename that. I'm going to call that x. Okay, so I'm going to call m minus 7x, and what that does is transform this problem into x squared plus 3x minus 40. And so now what I'm doing here is, right now there are two levels to the factoring of this problem, and what I'm trying to do here is get a clear view of the first level. I'm trying to get rid of what's being obscured by this m minus 7. So I'm just going to get rid of it for the time being. Now I'm going to factor the trinomial. So I'm looking for, remember, I take that first term multiplied by the last term, I'm looking for two expressions whose product is negative 40x and whose sum is 3x. Okay? The fact that the product is negative tells me that one's positive, one's negative, and the fact that the sum is positive tells me it's the larger one that's positive. And when I play with that a little bit, I'll notice that that's going to be 8x and negative 5x. Now remember, when I write out the binomials here, these are not necessarily part of these binomials. This is the outer product and the inner product. So the outer product here is 8x, and maybe the inner is negative 5x. The product of the first two terms of both those binomials is going to be x, so x times x. And then to get 8x here, this expression here at the back end here, this must be positive 8. So the product of those two is positive 8x. These two have to multiply together to get negative 5x, so this has got to be the negative 5. Now, I've got to erase this. In the past, that would have been it. I would have been done. But the thing is, there was no x in the original expression. Instead of the x, what I had was m minus 7. So now what I got to do is I'm going to replace x with m minus 7. But I'm going to do it in brackets here. This is going to be m minus 7 minus 5. M minus 7, again in brackets, plus 8. Okay? So now I've got two terms here. Two factors. This factor and this factor right here. In my next step, I'm going to drop those brackets and I'm going to simplify what I get here. I've got m minus 7 minus 5. Well, that is m minus 12. M minus 7 plus 8 is m plus 1. And so that right there is the factored form of that expression.